students. It's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. So today we are going to study about black body and black body radiation. So first of all, what is a black body? So yesterday we have studied about absorption, radiation, transmission, and we also have studied about one fact that a good absorber is a good reflector and a bad absorber is a bad reflector. Okay, that things we have studied. So black body is related to that only. A black body is that body which absorbs all the radiation which falls on that. Okay, it neither transmit nor what we say reflect. Okay, whatever radiation falls on a black body, this black body neither radiate, I'm saying reflect, neither reflect the radiation nor transmit it, but it absorb all the radiation. Okay, that means it is a very good absorber, and if it is a very good absorber, that means it is a very good reflector as well, radiator as well. Okay, so a black body is an ideal system that absorbs thermal radiations of all wavelength incident on it. Okay, hence perfect black body neither reflects nor transmit any radiation. Its absorptance is unity. That means whatever ray falls on this, it absorbs all the ray. So absorptance, the value of absorptance for this is 1. Okay, we know that the color of an opaque body depends on the wavelength, that is color of the radiation reflected by it. As a black body reflects no wavelength, that's why it appears black. Okay, whenever any ray fall on a black body, it absorbs all the rays and it don't reflect any ray, and because of that only it appears black in color. Okay, on the other hand, when a black body is heated to a high temperature, it emits radiation of all possible wavelength. Because it is absorbing radiation of all possible wavelength, that's why it reflects or it radiates all the possible wavelength. So here we are having one figure, okay, in which a black body is shown. So here you can see one hollow double walled metallic sphere is there. Okay, from inside it has painted black. O is one opening from where the light can go inside this. Okay, so here whenever any radiation enter from the opening O, it suffers multiple reflection at the inner wall and is almost completely absorbed. The projection P prevents the direct reflection. Okay, if this body is kept in a hot bath at a fixed temperature, thermal radiation come out of O, hence opening O acts as a black body radiator. Okay, so black body radiates the wave also, so it is also considered as radiator. Now let's study Kirchhoff's law. It states that at a given temperature and corresponding to a particular wavelength, the ratio of emissive power to the absorptive power is constant for all bodies, and this constant is equal to the emissive power of the perfect black body at the same temperature and corresponding to the same wavelength. Okay, so here with this equation you can understand it. Here what things are written? E lambda is the emissive power, that means how much radiation a body can emit. A lambda is absorptive power, how many radiation a body can absorb. Okay, so the ratio between emission and absorption. Okay, emissive power and absorptive power is equals to a constant, and that constant is equals to the emissive power of perfect black body at the same temperature as that body. Okay, for proof, here consider a body kept in an enclosure at a constant temperature T. Let dq be the small amount of radiant energy incident per second per unit area on the body in a small wavelength range around a particular wavelength lambda. Amount of radiant energy absorbed per unit area per second is A lambda dq, and the amount of radiant energy emitted per unit area per second in the wavelength range d lambda is E lambda d lambda. As the body is in thermal equilibrium, so whatever amount of energy is radiated is absorbed will be equal to whatever amount of energy is radiated. Okay, radiated energy and absorbed energy will be equal in thermal equilibrium. So here we have E lambda d lambda equals to A lambda dq. Now for perfect black body, the absorptive power is unity and emittive power is equals to E lambda. Okay, so here when we put E lambda in place of small e lambda and 1 in place of A lambda, so we get E lambda d lambda equals to dq. Okay, so when we substitute this value in equation 12.25 in this equation, okay, here when we put this value we get this one, E lambda d lambda equals to A lambda E lambda d lambda. So here in place of dq we put this value, dq equals to E lambda d lambda. So here in place of dq we are putting E lambda d lambda. After that what happened? From both the side d lambda cancel, A lambda transfer to this side. So we have E lambda upon A lambda equals to E lambda. Thus Kirchhoff's law is proved. Kirchhoff's law shows that if E lambda is large, A lambda is also large and vice versa. That means emittive power and absorptive power, okay, they go continuously, they are directly proportional to each other. If one will increase, other will also increase. It means that good emitters are good absorber and poor emitters are poor absorber. Then we have this energy distribution curve for black body radiation. So here you can see in x-axis we have taken lambda, which is wavelength. In y-axis we have taken E lambda, that is the emittive power of perfect black body. And here you can see we are getting various curves, okay, for different temperature. So for a temperature 100 Kelvin, as the wavelength is increasing, you can see emittive power first increases and then after a certain point it decreases. Then we raise the temperature a little bit more. Then also we can see same type of pattern, that first the emissive power increases and then it decreases. But now the value of maximum emittive power has changed. For 100 Kelvin it is that value, but for 1250 Kelvin this is that, you can see here for maximum E lambda for 100 Kelvin here is the value, and for 1250 here is that value. Okay, so the value of peak point, that is maximum possible value of E lambda, is changing continuously when we are changing the temperature. Okay, so here we are having some conclusion from these curves. Radiation of all wavelengths are emitted at each temperature. Okay, we are having different temperatures here, and at each temperature the radiations are emitted out. Second, as the temperature of the black body increases, the total energy radiated by it also increases. It also shows that the energy associated with the radiation of particular wavelength also increases with rise in temperature. Third, for each curve, as the wavelength increases, the energy radiated also increases till it becomes maximum for a particular wavelength, and then it decreases, which I have already explained you. Fourth, as the temperature of the black body increases, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum energy, that is the peak of the distribution, shift toward the shorter wavelength region. Okay, this thing also I have explained you, that as the temperature is increasing, okay, the peak value is shifting towards lower region. Okay, this thing also I have told you. The intensity of radiation, A lambda, that is the total energy radiated per second per unit area at temperature T, is represented by the area under the curve and governed by the relation E directly proportional to T to the power 4. Now let's discuss Stephen's law. So Stephen has given one law, and later Boltzmann has proved that law by using thermodynamics laws. So it is also considered as Stephen's Boltzmann law. Okay, this law states that the total thermal energy radiated per second per unit area by a black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. Okay, so absolute temperature means the temperature which a black body can gain or can reach by absorbing all type of wavelength. See, whenever a black body absorbs any wavelength, its temperature increases. So the maximum amount of wavelength a black body can absorb, its temperature depends on that, and whatever maximum temperature a black body can gain by absorbing different wavelength is called its absolute temperature. Okay, so its thermal energy which is radiated by black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature. Okay, and if we remove the proportionality sign, so we will have one constant there. Okay, E equals to sigma T to the power 4, and this constant sigma is called Stephen's constant. The value of sigma is 5.67 into 10 to the power 8 Weber per meter square per Kelvin to the power 4. Okay, this is the SI unit, and in CGS the power of 10 will change, so it will become 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 5 erg per second per centimeter square per Kelvin to the power 4. Okay, and here you can see some other ways to write the Stephen's law. Now let's try to understand greenhouse effect in terms of absorption and radiation, etc. So what is a greenhouse? We know that a greenhouse is a house which is made up of glasses, and it is made in that regions where the temperature is low. Okay, the atmospheric temperature is low, and if we want to grow some plants there which need high temperature, so that plants are grown inside a house which is made up of glass. Okay, and why it is so? Because we know that glass is having a property that it allows certain wavelength, the ray of certain wavelengths to pass through it. Okay, and it stops high wavelength to pass through it. So what happen when suppose any glass house is there? So the glass allows the low frequency wavelength to low wavelength rays to enter the glass house. Okay, when the rays go inside the glass house and combine with each other, their wavelength increases. After that increased wavelength, the glass house doesn't allow them to come out. So we can also say that the glass traps the wave, traps the radiations inside the house, and because of that the temperature of the house increases. Okay, and this is called greenhouse effect. So here the greenhouse effect is the phenomena which keeps the earth's surface warm at night, because at daytime whatever rays fall on earth, the carbon CO2 carbon dioxide which is present in atmosphere of earth, it is surrounding earth from all the side. Okay, the CO2 is in the atmosphere and it is enveloping the earth like a blanket. Okay, so whenever light rays fall on earth, this CO2 traps that rays. CO2 exactly works like glass works for greenhouse. Okay, in the same manner CO2 works for earth. So whenever the light rays fall on earth, CO2 traps the radiations, and because of that only at night we feel warmer. Earth's atmosphere allows most of the solar radiation in visible and infrared range to reach the surface of earth, but it also absorbs a large amount of infrared radiation. The surface of earth absorbs this energy and radiates a part of this energy in the form of radiation of lower wavelength. These radiations are absorbed in the atmosphere by the molecules of CO2 and water vapor and re-emit them back to earth. Thus, infrared radiation cannot escape back to space and get trapped in Earth's atmosphere. This results in an increase in the temperature of Earth and keeping it warm at night. So here our chapter 12 is also completed. In next lecture we will start chapter 13. Okay, till then goodbye, take care, do some productive work, and the most important thing, be healthy, be safe.